I just had you ask all of your friends sitting around you, what would you do if a car didn't start? Like, where would you start to fix it? So I'm getting in the car right now. Hopefully this bad boy starts. Ready? Thankfully this car is starting. Gotta get my seatbelt on. Gotta get my, oh wait, look, Star Wars. These are my Star Wars Darth Vader glasses. Let's get ready to rock and roll, okay? All right, we're gonna drive backwards. Backing out, backing out, backing out, backing out, backing out, backing out. Okay, we're good. Backing out, backing out, backing out, backing out, backing out. We're backing out, backing out, backing out, backing out. Oh, baby! Let's go to church. Let's go to church. You know, driving the car is fun. And I can't wait for you guys when you get bigger to learn how to drive a car, because it's a blast. Especially when you get your own car and you get to drive whenever you want to drive. It's a ton of fun. Look, garbage truck. Woohoo! Bet that thing's fun to drive. So driving's fun. Hey look, that's Parkview Elementary. We got some kids from church that go there. That's by my house. I live by that school. I get easily distracted. Anyways, driving is fun. And the reason why it's fun is because you get to go wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do, and then you can be there, and then you can go fast, or you can go slow. But the thing with driving is, you gotta learn how to do it. You just don't know how to drive just by knowing how to drive. Like, you just don't wake up as a baby and think, oh, today I'm gonna drive. No, you gotta learn how to do it. And so the way that I learned how to drive is I pretty much just kind of taught myself from video games, believe it or not. Yes, I played a lot of racing video games and kind of got the hang of what it meant to like drive a car, but that didn't actually like transfer to like using like the pedals. Like look, there's like pedals down here that you have to use to drive, like there's the gas and there's the brake. And so the very first time that I ever sat in a car was before I had my driver's license. It was at church. I had a friend who I volunteered. I said, hey dude, let me pull up your car for you. Never have done that before in my entire life. And my friend said, okay. Terrible, terrible, terrible idea. And so I went out to the car. You know, I knew I needed to turn the key, but I didn't know what to do next. So I tried, you know, shifting it. So, you know, you gotta move that bar so that the car goes where you want it to go. If you didn't know that, that's how a car goes. But I couldn't get the bar to move. I didn't know how to start. I didn't know where to start to get this car moving. And so I was sitting there in the parking lot for like 5 minutes, embarrassed. Like, why is this car not working? Why is this thing not starting? And then I just figured it out. You have to press the brakes first, and then you can pull the bar over to shift into driving. And I learned that day, that's how you start driving a car. McDonald's. Woo! Yeah, yeah! We made it to church! Alright, we made it to church. Let's go inside and have some fun! We're here at church, and I'm getting ready to set up small groups, and I got a bunch of stuff to bring to one of the rooms. Okay, so we got some toilet paper, because they're gonna build walls using toilet paper instead of cups. I got papers, I've got soap journals, more toilet paper, lots of toilet paper, and oh, did I mention that I'm writing on the hoverboard? Okay, so we're gonna try and go set this up downstairs. Are you ready? Okay. Whoa. This is a mess. Where do I even start to clean up this mess? Oh, I gotta clean up this mess. Where do I even start? Ah! We're talking about this thing called rebuilding. In the book of Nehemiah, Nehemiah rebuilt an entire wall to protect the city. And you're gonna learn today about why that wall is so important. But you know, with rebuilding, a lot of times the hardest part is starting. And as you see here, I got a giant mess to clean up. I mean, look at all of this toilet paper rolled out. It rolled out. Starting is the hardest part. You know what? And a lot of times with cleaning up, when we got big messes to clean up, the hardest part is starting. we find out that once we actually start cleaning up, it's not that bad. But starting is the hardest part. For example, your bedroom. Let's say you got a huge mess in your bedroom and your mom says, you need to clean this up today. What's the hardest part? It's starting. You know, once you start going, you start putting your clothes away, your toys away, you get things put back where they're supposed to be. It's not that bad. But starting is the hardest part. You know, last Sunday we talked about this puppy. Remember this really sad puppy? Yeah, it's a sad puppy. And it makes you feel an emotion, right? We talked about how that's compassion. That's this feeling that you want to do something and take care of something. God wants us to have that emotion, compassion, a desire to help people. And that's a good thing. But compassion is only the starting point. It's only the first thing that happens, because you can have compassion and feel bad for somebody, but you gotta go do something about it. And that, most times, is the hardest part. So, let's go back to this puppy. Oh, cute puppy. Cute puppy. Now, if this puppy had a broken leg, didn't eat, it was all dirty and nasty and needed to get cleaned up, what would you do? What's the starting point? Where would you even begin to help this puppy? And a lot of times, that's the hardest part for us. We get this idea that we gotta help, we have compassion, we wanna do something, but we don't know where to start. And we wanna be a hero, but we don't know where to begin. We don't know how to take the first step. And that's what God wants us to move forward in doing. God wants us to just start, to trust Him, to take the first step, help somebody out, and let God do what God does best through us. Hey. Okay, it is now time for us to do the big idea, and I am so excited to teach you about this big idea, because with this big idea, you can either be a chicken, or you can actually go and make a difference. So here it is today. A big reveal, bam! Here is our big idea. The whole point of what we're talking about today, if your mom and dad ask you, what'd you learn at church today? If you don't remember anything about today, this is what you should remember. Here it is, ready? Starting is the hardest part. Starting is the hardest part. Let's say that all together on the count of three. Ready? Uno, dos, tres. Starting is the hardest part. Starting is the hardest part. When you want to help, starting is the hardest part. To actually get going, it's hard. All right, turn to a neighbor. Look at somebody next to you quick. Ready? I'm going to give you 3 seconds to find a partner. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Look them in the eyeballs and say, starting is the hardest part. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, now we're gonna say the big idea like a chicken. And I want you to make those barking noises. Just do some chicken arms. Ready? Because if you don't start, you're a chicken. You're probably because you're scared. Ready? Let's say this like a chicken. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Starting is the hardest part. Don't be a chicken. 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 That's right, don't be a chicken. Starting is the hardest part. That's our big idea for today. And you know what? Once you get started, once you start helping people, once you start rebuilding and making a difference in people's lives, you'll be so glad that you did, and you'll realize this isn't so bad. I don't have to be chicken. God's gonna do great things in me and through me, just like He did with Nehemiah. Again, starting is always the hardest part. I have a Nintendo Switch and I love it. I love playing it. I got a bunch of games for it, super fun. I beat a lot of them. Super Mario Odyssey, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Donkey Kong Country Freeze, super fun games. But in playing video games, a lot of times the hardest part is when you die or you lose the competition part and you have to start over. You have to start all the way over again. Oh, that part just bums me out. And it's hard, it's frustrating to have to go all the way back to the beginning and start over, to rebuild where you were before. And a lot of times you just be like, I'm done, I give up, all done. Or you do it again, you restart, you rebuild, and then you beat the game. And that's a ton of fun, right? You know, another thing that's really hard to do is rebuilding a relationship that's been broken. You know, if you fought with a brother or a sister or an aunt, uncle, grandma, mom, dad, a friend even, you fought with them and you feel bad, right? You feel that compassion, you want to fix things, but it's hard, it's hard. How do you even start that conversation? How do you even begin to say sorry? It's hard. You know, I've been there with my brothers, my sisters. There's times where I fought with them and I didn't even know where to start to apologize. But starting is the hardest part. And once you do it, you'll realize this isn't so bad. Once you first begin that first process and you actually begin to do it, it's not that bad. And you'll be so glad that you did it. So today, as we begin talking about Nehemiah rebuilding the wall and actually doing it, actually starting, so we explore that starting is the hardest part. Remember, in those moments where it's really difficult, where it's really challenging, you're like, man, I don't even know where to begin right now. That's the hardest part. And once you start, once you actually begin the process, it's gonna be a lot easier and you're gonna be so glad at the end of it that you did. And now I need to start cleaning this stuff up. I don't even know where to begin.